Hey everyone, welcome to another week. So, yeah, wow, there's just so much going on every time I sit down to record these. I didn't do a holding space Sunday. I didn't have it in me yesterday. I don't know if it's like this solar activity has been like off the charts. So, not just solar flares, but the solar winds that come in. Um, and so yeah, I noticed, even Saturday as those were coming in, I was feeling a little wonky and a little strange. And then yesterday, I didn't feel like I had any I didn't even feel like I had a connection to like any psychic connection, any connection to my guides. Um, Even right now, I'm kind of like muddling through this a little bit because I'm feeling a little disconnected. It's very strange. Um, but the one thing that was nice is that you go and look at all the pictures of some of the aurora borealis that it was such a powerful solar wind that we saw them in like all over the United Kingdom. They usually don't come down that far. Um, all over Canada. Apparently, there was some in Calgary last night. I didn't get to see them. Um, but yeah, so, and the wind is still strong. And a couple of the flares that we've had too, it's like sometimes it'll just flare and it'll hit within, you know, an hour or so, or like and be done. But these ones are like coming in as long drawn out flares. So they're lasting for like, the energy is shifting in at like this long, long duration, like so it's like constantly coming in. Yeah, I have to admit, like it's been a rough week this last week. I feel like I don't know if everybody else is feeling like this. Just lots of challenges coming in regards to, for me, it's been like 3D life and just like just not. It's so it's difficult to navigate, and I'm like and then it brings up all the questions of like, why are we doing this? Like, what the heck? Why do we live like this? And you know, um, yeah, a lot of the times it's financial, right? It's like I'm really quiet at work, and it's not, like you try to be abundant and have good thoughts, but the reality is when you're like sitting there going, I need to pay bills, like this bill is overdue, and those sorts of things. And so when that reality comes crashing in, it's hard to stay positive. And I know, like, I've talked to other people and they're having, not similar um, situations, but something in their life, health, uh, whatever is really like we're getting a little bit of a challenge. So I did read this on today. So from February 27th to the 7th of March, Saturn and Pluto are at 29 degrees. So it's a time of letting go of the past, closing out cycles, wrapping up chapters, and also recognizing any patterns or karmic lessons that we need to like, you know, get get the lesson and finish it up, right? Finish doing our homework on these things. Um, 29 degrees is critical in the degrees because it brings both collective and personal change. So I think what's, how I'm reading this and how I feel like it is for me is because like I'm having definite like roller coaster. Like one minute I'm like, this is all great, everything's gonna be fine, and then it's like, no, nothing's fine, everything sucks. I'm quit. I don't want to do this anymore. Um, yeah, I don't really get to quit the universe. I don't think they're quiet quitting the universe. I don't know. And then the other thing that I wanted to say is that um, it's also 29 degrees of Saturn in Aquarius. Um, so it just because of that combination, it's like, okay, I'm just going to read what this says. The last 6 years we've had Saturn ruling the sky and teaching us to put in the work, to show up, and to not give up, and to take action on what we really want. With it being at its last degrees, we are getting our last and final tests. So I just wanted to share that because I really feel like I'm just trying to relate, to anybody out there, is that I think we're all kind of going through this, and those tests are coming up in different ways, right? Some people it's financial, like I said, sometimes it's health, sometimes it's addictions and habits, and we're I would say that this week coming up, we'll see what the cards say, is about like just letting us know we're just in that last little clear up week. I have a feeling the rest of this week will be a little bit more like that. Yeah, because like with all this activity going on with the sun, I've had some days where I just felt just wonky and out of sorts, um, and disconnected sometimes. So it's kind of just recognizing this, that this is just part of the process and it's not going to last forever, right? This too shall pass. But make sure you're learning whatever those karmic lessons need to be, right? Learned that we're doing our due diligence and observing and figuring out a little bit of things. We're not just kind of totally uh, hands off the wheel. Um, so yeah, I do think that's what's going on. Um, like I said, like the aurora borealis was like amazing yesterday all over the world. Um, because of all the solar activity that's going on and the solar winds coming in. So, I mean, for me, that it's always like that's sort of like when you see a rainbow, it's like it's that giving us a little bit of that hope, right? It's like it's gonna be fine. I say that, and it's funny because all the cards that I've been doing lately for myself, like when I just draw it, especially when I was getting like a little down in the dumps and a little afraid of, you know, making being successful in 3D life. Um, it just keeps coming up like, don't give up. Abundance is coming. Like, it's all coming. And I think it's always in these transition periods where it's like, where it's the hardest because we've done all this work, but we're not seeing any results yet. But you know, they're they're on their way. Everything we've asked for is coming. So it's hard to be in that transition state. So I hope if you're feeling the same way, um, that you know that just keep breathing and keep pushing forward, and we'll make it through together. Like I said, it's that this too shall pass, right? Um, yeah, okay, let's take a look. Oh, interesting. So the week is about specialization. For me, this card is always about again a lot of gifts coming online. Like this envelops just all the chakra colors, the transformation. Um, Part of the triangular shapes is getting in the Merkaba, right? Activating our energy field, um, not just for protection, but also for you know starting to use our gifts and things. So yeah, again, it looks like it's another week of more uh, perception and understanding of the gifts that we're starting to get and to receive. So that's kind of a fun week. And it kind of like for me actually that's the epitome of this too shall pass. It's like we're so close like that by the end of this week, you know, some tangible answers will be present, right? Oh, fun. So, yeah, it's an interesting time. I for sure. I've been, yeah, like I said, it's been a roller coaster sometimes. I've had some like I wake up some days and I'm like, ooh, and I'm like, and I've felt like an energetic shift in the night, or and that you can tell it's different. And then the next day I'm down in the dumps and totally living in 3D land and freaking out about money and work and what I'm doing here. So, um, yeah, it's just it's uh, it's a ride right now, and I think it's just because it is that like that whole what I just read there is that like loose ends are being tied up. things are being shifted and changed. Um, so it's just like, it's kind of like, yeah, like we're in 3D and then we're in 5D for a little bit and then we're back and we're forth and it's kind of disorientating, and we feel a little disconnected. So I'm going to read three of the Starseed Oracle because just feel like that's where we're heading into. So the rest of this, what is the rest of the week about? That's what I was asking. Breath of the cosmos. My will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. Okay, that's funny because that's sort of what I feel like I've been trying to do, and it's just backfiring in my face. So it's like, well, I want to see this, and I want tangible results of this, and like really, like not in that abundance, manifestation process, but like more demanding, rather than I was always told like with energy, you instead of demanding from the universe, it's commanding. So being in your right power to command things to come to you rather than demanding it of the universe. So I guess we got to work on that a bit, like not micromanage the universe. The universe has a plan, and I think the more we like fine tune it and detail it and get all like riled up about it, it's just backfiring in our face. And then the next card we got is loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. Okay, yeah, so it's coming up for like with the messaging for all of us that it's like we're I hate to say it because I feel like maybe I'm just talking to myself, but you guys can you guys can make that decision for yourself. Um, we're trying too hard, like we're working too hard, um, and I think it stems out of having done this work and being and just waiting, like and we keep saying like the change, the shift is coming, the change is coming, and it's just such a slow and gradual process, and that is the way it has to happen. But it's just like we're getting like bogged down in that. I know this is a big one for me. Coping mechanism is like as soon as things are going crap in 3D, I'm just like I'm not good to myself. I don't talk nice to myself. um so it's just like it's it's really about we've got to get into the flow this week and just let things go through their natural process, and not try to fine tune it and like and make things happen, but just observe it and let things happen. And then we also got uh oops, I can't read that word. I was well, this eyesight things, I'm gonna have to get reading glasses for sure. We also got lifting the veil. Um, oh, it's okay. Questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. Yeah. So that's again, that's where we are this week. Is we're just we're in this process of like, you know, we keep talking about like heading into March, like equinox and the 23rd. Those are really important dates coming up. Um, Astrologically. And I think it's not going to be until that time that we see like really big shifts and changes. Um, but on the world stage, I think things are just going to keep coming out every single day because they do every single day. There's something new that we learn about or find out about, and this is all part of the process. But the key, I think, for this week is for us just not to be getting so worked up and involved in it that we're kind of losing ourselves in the message, right? It's we just need to relax a little bit, and go with the flow, right? The only way we notice our gifts and stuff is by practicing them and using them, but they come as they come in. They're easier to see when we're not forcing or like expecting to see something. I think that's really what this is getting to, is that it's like this expectation that we have of how it should look versus how it's coming in, and then getting frustrated because it's not coming in the way we expected. Well, we'll see what each day holds here. But yeah, it just seems like definitely a continuation of this week, and that we still have a little bit of tests and stuff to pass as we start to like invoke and utilize and practice and use our the new way of doing things. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the week. Okay, let's look at Monday. Whew, yeah, I feel like I hope that intro made sense. I feel like I probably rambled on, and hopefully I'm not like totally screwing you guys up. Well, Sam's coming in. He doesn't usually come in with the incense burning. There he is, little cutie. Hi, cutie. Hi, cutie. Yeah. Anyway, so hopefully that intro made sense, and hopefully the rest of these days make sense. I still feel that I still have that feeling of um, like that I'm a little bit disconnected from spirit, which is weird. Um, but at the same time, too, it's like sometimes you just got, we've been over this a million times. Sometimes you just got to rest. And that just includes taking breaks from, you know, the intensity of that work. So, and then not feeling bad about it. I do feel bad that I didn't get holding space Sunday up, but it just wasn't meant to be, obviously. I literally did not have any nothing in me. I'm finding it even hard to read cards a little bit today. Um, okay, enough talk. Monday, ignite your passions, Fire Guardian. Okay, so starting to get it this week, like stoking it up a little bit. So, but this is really getting into that specialization card from the beginning. It's like, what are we passionate about? I think I really want to say this week feels like it's a lot of, again, like retrospective, like really fine tuning the details of where we're headed and what we want and those sorts of things. Like that's our best job. Um, and to keep doing that because abundance wise, we want it to, come forward and these things to come into our life, but we have to know what we're asking for too, right? So I think we're just being asked to really define things. Oh, that's so funny. The next card is the waning moon, which is introspection, self inventory. Okay, so Monday, a little bit of journal work, like, and it's good journal work. It's like, what am I passionate about? What am I passionate about? What do I, and that then leads to like what we want to see moving forward. Um, and 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 then it opens doors too, so that we can take those steps to getting to the passion part of it, to like what we want to do and what makes us, what lights the fire in you, right? So I think this again, it's a week of like just planning, um, rather than a week of like doing. Then we got two cards actually. So the first card is unknown territory. You are exactly where you need to be. I think that's what we just need to keep reminding ourselves this week is that again, all is happening the way it's supposed to, and just keep saying that to yourself. It's like I know I'm right. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, um, and the rest will come. Like I think we just need to keep our focus on you know what what we what we want. And then we also because we also got infinite abundance. Abundance is pouring into your life. And that's what I said. Like I feel like a lot of people are giving up. And even I was when I was down in the dumps last week, it was because I was giving up. Like it was like none of this is real. This is all BS. Like nothing is happening. Nothing ever happens. There's all this stuff that we're being promised and it never happens. But then I realized, and then I caught myself doing that, and I was like, is that what you want? You just put that out to the universe, not what you want. Cancel, clear, delete, right? So you may not be seeing the abundance right now, but that was just really weird. You may not be seeing the abundance right now, but it is coming in. So just we just need to be patient. We just need to wait. Sorry, I want to tell you about the weirdness. It was like the music cut out. There was some weird noise going, boop, 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 and then I looked at my phone because I thought maybe it was like an emergency alert, but weird. And then it just stopped. So I don't know what that was. Anyway, that was Monday. Ignite those passions. Figure out what they are though, and then let's get them flowing into our lives. Tuesday. Let's have a look. Ooh, that one's jumping. Jumping, jumping. Ooh, two there. Interesting. Oh, okay. I have two there. Wow. Okay. I feel like yeah, the amount of information that's been coming out and at us is that's gonna be it's a tricky part to navigate. Um, because a lot of it, a lot of it's kind of like even if you slightly suspected some stuff, it's still gonna throw us off a bit and be like, wow, this is like a lot of information coming in. Even though some of the information coming in is, we've been waiting to hear this for such a long time, it can still be a little disconcerting, right? Because what it really means is the foundation of everything that we've like lived on and been part of is, being exposed for something it completely isn't. Um, and we're just trying to be here doing our good spiritual work. Um, and it's yeah, it can be a lot. Anyway, let's take a look at Tuesday here. Uh, I'll read all the cards because I kind of see the pattern of what it's saying, and then we'll talk about it. So we've got Elder, which is moves beyond ancestral patterns. We've then got the unicorns and innocence, which is innocence, trust, and honesty. But I'm going to read that just slightly different. We also got the angelic presence, support, and guidance. And then we got traveling lightly, simplify your life, and then ascending the mountain, keep going forward. So when I just did that little blurb about all the information coming in, I think Tuesday is looking like it's going to be a lot of information coming in, and do not let it overwhelm you. Keep calling in our backup, right? This is actually the physical energy of unicorn coming in. So they are there to help us, and they are there to um, lighten things up, right? Truth and honesty, or trust and honesty, is on there. So again, a lot of things are going to be coming up to question about not necessarily our truths, but the whole of humanity. Um, have the angels backing. Just if when it becomes too much, call them in, ask for assistance, ask them to take away anything that's too much for you to handle. The reason I think this card came up is not just our ancestral patterns, but this is starting to reveal things that have gone on this planet, um, that we've been lied to about how, who we are as a spiritual being and what we're doing on this planet, and what we're supposed to be achieving, which is, we're supposed to be in unity consciousness, and we are supposed to be um, a brother and sisterhood, or whatever you want to call it. We're supposed to be together. We're not supposed to be divided. But we've been divided for hundreds of thousands of years in many different ways. So this coming up, I think, is just there's going to be information coming up about all of our ancestral lines, and so the important part of that has always been we have to do the healing around it. So um, simplify your life, I think, is just really about it's about letting go again of things that if it's too much for you, or it's or it's just or you don't know how you can transmute it, like that information, is it like lessen your load by asking the angelic team to just like transmute and transform that for you. So yeah, I mean, that's a lot of information for Tuesday. But I really just think the general thing is like, okay, more stuff is being revealed, more information is coming in. It's coming in on purpose so that we do heal this ancestral lineage of our families and Earth's families, right? Um, so just go about it as with as much ease and grace as you can, traveling lightly, but don't give up. Keep going forward. Call in everything you believe in, all the benevolent energies to help you through this time. So interesting. Can't wait to see what information pops up on Tuesday. All right. You got this. We got this. We know how to do this. We've been doing this for a long time. And now it's like it is again, it's the specialization card. I think it like why that came up at the beginning of the week is this is our little, I don't want to say tests and challenges in a bad, it's not in a bad way. It's like an initiation. It's like, okay, start working that magic that you have because we know we gave it to you. So now we're gonna like have um, situations come up so that you learn how to use this new energy, right? That uncharted territory. But the uncharted territory card from Monday was you're right where you're supposed to be. So let's start uh, utilizing these gifts that we have, even though we may not be completely sure what they are and how to use them. But you don't learn how to use them until you start doing it. So that's all right. Here is Wednesday. Whew. Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like there's a lot of work to be done this week, but in that same breath, it's like it's that traveling lightly card from Tuesday is like try to make it as simple and as easy as possible. So, you know, if it's not coming immediately, don't again, it's this whole week has this like really complex theme um of of us not forcing things and not um trying to manipulate things to get it to go our way, but to like be in the flow and let it happen because that's the easier way of having things manifest. Whew, gosh, the worst part about this reading right now is that I'm mental, like I'm actually in tune enough. Like sometimes I'm just channeling and I have no idea what I said. I have to go back and watch the video. And today it's just like I'm just like talking to myself and going, and it's kind of like it's almost it's hard because I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to take this lesson, learn it. Anyway, that's kind of what's going through my head. It's like, oh, but like I feel like I'm just reading myself. I hope you guys are getting something out of this and it's not just me. Okay, Wednesday, midweek, move in a new direction. We got. We also got Hawthorne, which is balance and the elemental kingdom. And then we got overcoming obstacles. You can overcome anything. Okay, so yeah, like Monday and Tuesday was a lot about, there was lots of work to kind of start looking at and doing. Um, I think what this is saying is that like within that work, within that discovery of what you know, whatever journaling you did or meditated on or visioning you got, is that something was then we can't do that because there's a major obstacle in the way. Um, so what we're just being kind of told to just like change the plan, move in a new direction. There's lots of options. Um, and the thing is it's like you can do this. Like you'll overcome this. It's already in the works, right? Like so, if you have to move in a new direction, like to get to those passions and ignite that fire, um, start looking at new avenues of of how you do that. Um, the balance part is, I think, the key of this is just making sure, again, we're balancing both worlds, this like higher dimensional and this like where we are right now. And we're not trying to like, we're not throwing ourselves out of balance, trying to like be just in one. Um, it's like right now we have to learn to balance both. And it's not easy, you guys, at all. Um, so I would say for Wednesday, if if uh, if a new direction isn't already sort of in your awareness, then again, more journaling work. Um, and then through that process, like if anything comes up where it's like, I can't do that because of this or this, instead of saying I can't do it, turn it around and just say, and that's a new direction, by the way. Because if we're saying I can't, we're manifesting that to just keep coming through. So what we need to do in that point um, is collect or creatively find a new way to go, the new direction. Um, so if yeah, like I have no idea what this is for me, but it's interesting because I would say like my first thing would be like, I can't do that because I don't have the money to do that, or the time or whatever it is. So instead of putting that out there, it's like, okay, I'm gonna find a way, help me to find a way, so that I do have the resources to make this happen. And hopefully we shall overcome. It says we are going to. So keep going, right? Keep going. Let's look at Thursday. Whew. Yeah. I, I just keep wanting to say, like, I, I'm sorry. I feel like this is like, not that it's a heavy reading, but it's just like, it's like, oh my God. It's like, we're already so tired with everything, but it's like, oh man, we're still not even like close. And that's sort of the part, like, not to, like bog ourselves down and not in that like the overwhelm of like, oh my God, this is so much. It's like it is, but there's that saying that you're not given more than you can handle. um so we know, right? We know that we came here to do this, and that we can do this, and we have all ability coming our way this week, new gifts and stuff to show us and teach us how we do this and what we do and how we get there. Okay, so Thursday we got the Shaolin Master, which is be graceful in movement and action. Then we also got Past Life, but in this it's gifts and review. And then Voyage of the Heart, which is love flows through you and to you. So yeah, it's really interesting because as soon as that love flow through you, it's like let's just take a on Thursday sometime. It's kind of like almost like take a breather, because the best way you're going to get into action on all the plans we've been doing up till Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is just allowing and then getting into the flow, right? So yeah, it's almost like just I just see us sitting there going, okay, I don't know what my gifts are, and um I need to review like what I want to see happening in this world, right? um so it feels like it's I just get this image of like almost like a movement meditation. So moving your body, but allowing love to flow in and flow out. So, like the movement is the energy of love. So, doing some graceful movement and action, like this is actually coming through is just like let this be sort of a physical meditation process to try on Thursday. just because like it's really just coming up, it's not so much about the past lives, it's just coming up that it's like, okay, these gifts, we've always had them the whole time. We just have to remember, like, in every lifetime we've come, we've had these gifts, whether we used them or not. But it's time for us to just like start discovering them, um, and really just being asked to get into the flow of things. So, yeah, and again, and that's it. Kind of is going to this overall theme of the week, which is we need to be in the flow and let love flow through us, and guide the way and not try again, it's this coming down to this thing like the micromanaging of the universe. It's like we're trying too hard to like I want it this way and this way and this way. Like I don't know if that's something you're doing. I know sometimes that is something I'm doing, and I don't really want to manifest more of that, so I gotta catch myself and stop myself then. um, yeah, it just feels like for Thursday, just even just sitting in a meditation, even if you're not physically moving, is to just breathe, breathe in love and let it flow through the whole body and spirit and soul, and then out and in and out, and just, you know, get into that flow of love. So that's Thursday. Okay, Friday. Almost at the end of the week. Funny. Well, I think it's, yeah. Okay. Ooh, okay, so it's interesting because that just like as I just pulled those two cards, it just kind of clarified yesterday's read for Thursday. Is that um like we're getting all these downloads and information, and I think it's like, well, nothing's changing, and I don't know how to access and use these gifts, and part of it is like just by having this upgrade and this download in you, and part of you is a new way of being, and so we haven't seen that before. But I think we're making it too hard because we're like asking and making, like we're like, I need tangible results, like I'm seeing nothing. But what it's really saying is this energy that's coming in is really working on a very, very subtle, subtle level. So you're not necessarily going to feel it. And the only way for us to tap into it is to be in the flow and observe it, because um, when we're doing this deep investigation of it, it's not working for us. We're not seeing it. We're overlooking it. That's what I'm being told right now. Anyway, let's go to Friday because it's funny that Friday tripped off the clarification of Thursday. Um, yeah, so Friday, the first card we got is the Sun, which as soon as we get one of the Sun cards, continued energy coming in from the Sun. Um, so basically, that's also my card for just knowing that, yeah, we're anytime these waves are coming in, these energy towards us, it is upgrading us and changing, um, and then bringing new abilities to us and all of those things. So it's kind of like and it is a slow process, because I think if we got bombarded with everything at once, the physical body probably wouldn't handle it. The emotional, spiritual body would be overwhelmed, right? We would probably short circuit as a being, which is not how we want this to go, right? It does need to happen gradually. But again, just know, so Friday, more upgrades, more downloads, more things coming in. So just knowing that, again, it's just having that belief of like, it's happening and I don't have to do anything to make it happen. I just have to observe and allow. Allow is the big word, being in the flow, right? And I think because up until now, I can see for myself what I've been doing is like, I'm trying to control it. It's like, well, I want this to happen and I need this to happen. Um, and it's really not working. It's not how this energy works. But it's, don't beat yourself up too. Like we don't know how this energy works. We've never really worked with it in this lifetime. So we also got blue, which is throat chakra, which is communication and inner truth. I would definitely say that, again, it's going to be continued information coming in, both from, subtle downloads that you may not even know you're getting. Uh, but you might be starting to like see, like, you're like having, I constantly have epiphanies. It's like I just had one right now as I was turning these cards over for Friday, and I was like, oh, wait, now I've got the rest of what Thursday was about. So it's kind of funny because it's kind of a continuation. I think this one definitely is just tuning into our inner truth, right? It's not what everybody else out there. Again, there's a million gurus, whatever. The person you need to listen to at the end of the day is yourself and what you believe and what you know we need to be in tune and in touch with our inner truth. We also got autumn in there, which is abundance, preparation, and harvest. So they're just reminding us, it's like, yes, you're not necessarily seeing results, but it's okay because under the surface, everything is happening. Everything is happening. um, and abundance, again, it's that thing. It's like we're not seeing it necessarily yet, but it's coming. So we just have to keep that in the back of our head that everything is going just the way it's supposed to, and we're fine. Because we also got uh, surrender to the journey, which is release control. Just get in that boat and let it go. Let it flow. Let it take you where it's going to take you. Again, it's us. I don't know how we're like, it may not be all of us. I think if you're watching this, you're probably going, yep, yep. But it's like, I feel like we almost don't know where we're doing it. So it might be part of the week to catch yourself because you'll catch yourself doing it. You'll be like trying to manipulate things to go a certain way. Anyway, we also got vast vistas, expand your horizons. So yeah, this is exactly the like pretty much every day has been the same in this read because what they're asking us to do is like we're like this, looking at this going, okay, waiting for it to change. And we're missing all of this. We're not looking at all of this. We're overlooking things because we're so focused on whatever this is for us, right? So it's like, again, it's about the micromanaging and the trying to manipulate. And it's like, it's almost like it is. It's like, I think in part of this video, I did say something about we can't be hands off the wheel, but it's almost like they're asking us to be hands off the wheel. It's like, just, Jesus, take the wheel. Like, let it, you give it up to spirit, and they're gonna let it happen the way it's meant to, and stop trying to like backseat drive and course correct and like just know what you want, like have the plan, like that's the homework, but don't we're somehow we're manipulating, we're standing in our own way of our own abundance. That's all I can think of. um so yeah, I would say then the work for the week is is try to figure out where you're doing that, or catch yourself and then course correct by, cancel, clear, delete, or whatever you need to do to change the energy around that, and then just go with the flow and let it be. That's Friday. Okay, Saturday. It's interesting. I feel like maybe I shouldn't be doing like any more of the days, and I should have just like stopped it and said, hey, okay, so pretty much we're being told the same thing every day. But I guess no, we'll keep going because hopefully that way it will definitely hit home, right? Yeah. And we will, because that's what I feel too, was like what I'm really getting. Mostly because it's like it's for me, and I'm like, I don't know I don't know where it is that I'm doing that. Like, but I feel like very strongly that that's, it's not, it's an unknowing sabotage. It's like we just didn't even know, right? That we're doing it. So, yeah, good lessons for the week. Okay. Because we keep getting through those. Okay. Saturday, animal guardian. Trust your instincts. Okay, so that's funny that I just said that when I was like, where am I catching myself up or kind of sabotaging the flow of things? So I would say, yeah, because we also got the new waxing moon, which is conception, inner self, and expansion again. So that to me, then for Saturday, really says it's probably another good day to make sure you're journaling or meditating to answer those questions, to go into our inner self, um, and then asking the questions of like what, where am I stopping myself, or where am I putting in roadblocks, and then trusting our instincts. What is the first thing that comes to us, or what do we write down? As soon as we write it down, it's like, and then just trusting that, okay, even if you look back at what you wrote and you're like, no, there's no way, um, it's your first instinct. And part of, I would say, utilizing this new energy is we have to start listening to our intuition and our instinct, um, and trusting that we are getting good information and acting upon it. So we also got um, staying focused, hold the course. So yeah, it's just saying we're again, it's this whole notion of I feel like a lot of us have been giving up, like particularly talking about myself, because I'm not seeing tangible results, and I'm like, oh my God, this is never gonna work. Um, but it's like, just stay focused. It is happening. You just can't see it yet. And you just have to trust your instinct and your intuition. Um, and rightfully so. Ask those questions. We know the answers within ourselves, right? Yeah, craziness. It's just a lot about doing lots. It's still like really about um like focusing. It's focusing and the work that we need to be doing is just looking for these answers, because we also got fogged in, which is go slow and take time, right? And I think that's probably a lot of what we're guilty of too, is that we're trying to rush this process. It's like it should have happened already. Some of us have been doing this work for like 20 years, and it's like it's incredibly frustrating that it feels like it's going slowly. The funny part is it's really not going that slow if you think about it. Just how much has changed in this whole field of spirituality and all of that in 2 3 years, like, and even the beginning of this year, it's just been like warp speed on disclosure, on starting to mend and heal all of the past, um, and the things that we haven't been privy to, but now it's started, it's coming in fairly rapid succession. um anyway, so it's just like, take time this week. It really seems like we're supposed to be going inward, uh, looking for the answers, asking the questions, because we already have it. It's the Wizard of Oz thing. It's like all the answers are already inside of you, and you know them. We just have to tune into that. So yeah, staying focused. There's something too about, again, it's not just he's looking on the out at the world with the spyglass, and it's like really taking a look at this, but it really seems to be, it's not looking out at the world for the answers or other people. It's totally an inside job. So trust your instincts. That's Saturday. and Sunday. So yeah, it's an interesting week. It's like there's work to do, but don't make it simple work. Don't work really hard at it. Uh, yeah, kind of crazy. It certainly is like that's sort of probably not in our nature to to, to let uh to let go and let God, as they say. um, but also at the same time, it's like you don't. We're not. It's not a rest period where we just go rest on our laurels that everything is coming in and will happen. We still have to be doing some work around it, right? So, but it's simple. It's simple work. It's meditating. It's journaling. It's channeling. It's sort of like as you're writing, it's talking to your inner self, your higher self, to really get those answers of what we want, right? Okay, so Sunday, we got the shaman, which is trust in higher forces. We also got fire, which is transmutation and purification. And then we got faraway places, which is get ready for new horizons. So this whole week, like I said, it's been a lot of work. Like it's catching ourselves. It's, not trying to manipulate what's happening. And just again, it's that like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You are doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Stop standing in your own way. But also, again, spirit has our back. They have a plan. It's in play. It's going. Um, trust the universe. Everything is being transmuted and changed and purified. That's this process that we're in on planet Earth right now. You see it happening in yourself, but out in the greater world, there's a lot of purification happening right now. And our job is just to observe and and then keep the energy around it high and full of love. As things are the universe has got this. They're doing all the transmutation. Uh, and then the horizons part, which is funny because yesterday we got expand your horizons, start looking out, right? Outward. This is just the card to say, you did a good week of work and we're going to be ready to go. And it's all coming in by the end of the week. So that's Sunday. All right. Let's look at the summary of this week. uh, Again, I feel like I'm picking up on you guys, and it's like this like energy of like, oh my god, that's a lot. It's so heavy, like the amount of work, but then it really isn't. But it's sort of like this dualistic, like I don't really understand this. I'm kind of like, hopefully you guys are understanding this video, and I'm not just blabbling on. And you're just like, this girl is too much this week. Anyway, uh, yeah, I like how that ended up. It's like the Sunday message was like, it's good. It's all you'll it's all coming. Just be patient. Oh my God. Okay, this happens so rarely. So I always, of course, the intro, I always use the same cards to sum up the week, and we got specialization again. Um, that's a big deck of cards for that to pop out again at the beginning and ending of a reading. So um, yeah, this is, I think the overall thing I want to say is like we don't totally understand it. What these abilities coming in, what they are, how we use them, how we figure out that we have them. Um, so in the reading for the week, the overall thing was it's like don't worry so much about it, right? It is happening. You may not see everything. Um, and you will be tuned in to those gifts when the time is right, and you will just know, right? And the reason I think I'm like kind of hesitant in like how I'm delivering this, and I'm like, oh, are they going to get this, or like it's not because I don't think that you're not going to get it or that you're just going to get frustrated and give up. It's this feeling of like, I'm having trouble describing it to you because I don't know this energy. This is all new to me, too. I don't know these gifts. They're coming online for me, too. And this is all new to us, to all of us, to all. We've never had this happen before, like where we were tuned into them in any of our lifetimes. We may have been tuned into them, but this is all new energy. This is a whole new level, a whole new frequency. So, like, go easy on yourself. Like, we're all going through this. And I feel like that's why I kind of feel bad because I feel like I'm not explaining it, but I don't know what it is either. I'm in the same, I'm on the journey with you guys. I'm not above or below anybody. It's just like we're all in this on the same level together and we're, opening up this completely unfamiliar, like, it's like we're opening a new business and nobody knows what the business is until we start getting information and then we have to figure out how to work it. So, whew, yeah, that's a good one. Okay, let's do a couple of, we'll do three like we did at the beginning. Oops, I boxed these cards up. Anyway, yeah. So I just want to make sure I'm expressing that right to you is that the reason I am having so much trouble expressing or explaining this to you is that it's new to me. It's like I'm reading a foreign language and interpreting it the best I can, but it's like it's missing some pieces and stuff. Anyway, that's fun. All right. Oh yeah, good, good. Okay. So the three to sum up this week, uh, called Soul Gifts and Training. It's time to step up. This is just to confirm the gifts are here. They are. Um, our soul gifts. They're ready and waiting. We just have to start, you know, learning about them and figuring out how they work. Cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. That's perfect, right? Like that's where I feel like we were last week, or I was. I know I was there. It was like I was rock bottom. I was done. Like I was quitting everything. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing spirituality. I'm going to quit all these readings. I was going to quit my job, my actual massage job. Yeah, I was just done. I was like, I'm done. Nothing's happening. Blah blah blah. I just was throwing the full on like but I just couldn't take it anymore. I was tired of not seeing results. So it's funny because like I said, this reading is like when I'm speaking it to you, I'm also like speaking it to myself and I'm like, oh, okay. So just know that this is an alchemy process, right? Alchemy is a process. Like alchemy like sometimes comes across like as magic, but it's a process, right? Like if we get into the science part of it, it's like it's combining of things to make something new or to reveal something that's, a part of it already. It's transformation. Um, this is the alchemy of us, of ourselves. We are alchemizing we're changing the way we are as human beings, as soul beings. It's a process. It's taking time. And we have to let it flow. Um, man, okay. I'm just going to tell you what I did. No, I'm going to finish reading these and then I'll tell you what I did because I just, anyway, okay. Then we also got, so surrender to the alchemy of life, um, and our soul gifts coming and training. And then we got messenger, which is serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. Again, we keep at the end of almost every day during this read, we got to like, it would just be like, it's okay. You're gonna get over, you're gonna get through this, not over this. I just meant like obstacles wise, we'll get through them. But again, abundance and harmony and balance are coming in. It's just on the other side. Okay, so what I did was, when I was talking about alchemy there, trust the alchemy of life. Um, I instantly thought, I was like, oh, an alchemy card in this deck. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna like lift it up and see. The first one I don't remember what I got, and then I lifted a little bit higher and I found it. Right? Interesting. So again, the overall theme of this week is that we are in an alchemical process at this time. And we're in the distillation of ourselves into spiritual being. So it's a process, and just keep it simple and let it flow, and keep in mind we're in the right place, and everything we're doing is going to, um, it's time for us. It's time. It's ready and it's able, and we're just in this discovery phase. So this is supposed to be the fun part, I think. Okay, so that's it for the week. Have a good week. Take it easy on yourself. Let's not be so hard on ourselves. I know I am, and I'm guessing a lot of us are that are watching this are too. So have a good week. Take care of yourselves, and I love you.